Hey, Matt Adams, dating coach in Boston, Massachusetts here with today's Q&A. Today's question is my boyfriend too weak to break up with me? This actually comes in from a close friend of mine. Let me read you what she wrote. Hey Matt, what do you think about a guy that won't break it off? I've been with someone for 8 months. He and I spent Christmas together, have met each other's families, have traveled together, but for the last month, he definitely started to distance himself. We got into a big fight 2 weeks ago. The fight actually had nothing to do with me at all. He slammed the door in my face and said he needed space. So I went home and didn't talk to him for about 10 days, and I hadn't heard from him since. But then I called him and we talked for an hour the other night, and it seemed all was good. He still is in a relationship on Facebook, but he has not contacted me since our phone call the other day. I've made it very easy for him. I'm always available. Is he just trying to make me break up with him? I think he's just being a wuss and wants me to break up with him. I'm thinking if I disappear, he will come after me, but probably not. I'm just going to ask him straight out, are we still together? Men suck, get a pair, done. So done. Here's some things that stick out to me. I've been wanting to say this to you for a little bit. The men suck, get a pair, that doesn't help. You've got to have a little bit more of a positive attitude there. If you're going to harbor any kind of resentment towards men, that's going to come back and bite you in the ass. So let go of any kind of resentment like that. I realize you may have said it jokingly, and I understand that. The fact is you still said it, and so there's something there that's stinging, that's causing that you really should turn into yourself and get some introspective reflection on. That's the first thing. I just want to get that out of the way. The second thing here is you think he wants to break it off with you because he wants some space. I disagree with that emphatically. He said what he means. He feels like he needs space. And so let me explain this to you. Women will have highs and lows. They're more like a wave. They'll have this big crescendo of a wave where they'll feel amazing and wonderful and in love, and then they'll come crashing down and the emotions will be hard. And it doesn't necessarily need to do with the man that you're dating. It's just how a woman's emotional cycle goes. So women tend to move up and down, and that's their emotional cycle. Men are a little bit different. Instead of an emotional cycle, they have more of a mental cycle. They act more like an elastic than a wave, where they'll pull away, and when they get far enough away to feel like they've got some clarity, they can snap back rather quickly. Okay, and to me it sounds like that's what your guy is going through right now. You said you've been together for 8 months, you've spent Christmas together, met each other's families, and traveled together. It sounds to me like you may have been very up close to him, right in his face the whole time. Not saying that you've been completely inseparable. Obviously you have a job and you work, and so does he. But when a woman is too close to a man feels like he is too involved in the situation to get the kind of perspective on it that he feels that he needs. If he feels like he's too close to you, he's going to need to pull away so he can get some perception on the situation and get a better grasp on it or not. If he's been doing that for a month, his cycle may be a little bit longer in this instance. If you're chasing after him, you don't really say what you're doing, but if you're chasing after him to try to get him to come to you because you feel that he's pulling away, that could further push him away. So if you're doing that, and you didn't say that you are, but if you are, stop doing that and give him the space. I do think that you've been giving him the space since he asked for it, since this fight, but the fact that it got to a fight for him means that he hadn't been getting enough space for him to clearly process what it is that he needs to process. And what it is that he needs to process may very well be whether he wants to be in a relationship with you or not, or whether he's happy with things the way that they're going with you, or it could be completely unrelated to you whatsoever. It sounds like from your perspective, the fight had nothing to do with you, so maybe it is something else that's bothering him, that he feels like he needs to cut something out of his life in order for him to focus on that, and unfortunately that may be you. He may feel bad about that, and he might share that with you if he comes back later, but it sounds like you gave him the space and didn't call him for 10 days, and then I think you made a mistake by calling him. And I do understand that you did give him some space, and you're kind of wondering, like, okay, well, it's been 10 days, what the fuck? I get that. Clearly, he doesn't feel like it's been enough space for him, and that's what you need to respect. Maybe it's been more than enough space for you, and you're thinking, well, where is he? But he hasn't had enough space for himself yet. So God knows how long that's going to be, only he can tell. But you have to give him that space. I do think that was a mistake to call. I also think it's a mistake to make yourself too available. Let's say he did call all of a sudden and wanted to talk. Are you going to run right to him? I don't think you should. I think he should wait a little bit before. Now we'll give him even more space to process this and start thinking about what he's going to say even more. But within 2 or 3 days, it's okay if you get together. But don't just jump up and run immediately. The last thing that I want to comment on here is I'm thinking if I disappear, he'll come after you. Yeah, keep some distance. And then the last thing was, I'm going to ask him straight out, are we still together? Don't do that. Don't. Just be patient and wait. And maybe he doesn't ever get back to you, and that's how it is. And maybe 4 months from now he snaps back and it's too late for him because you've already started seeing somebody else, possibly. But if you're still interested in him, then obviously you would give him a chance. If you're not interested in him anymore, well, that's his answer, and you'll be able to tell him that. But as far as what to do, he told you what he needed. He's honest about it. Men don't communicate in the way that women do. Women will leave hints and expect their female friends to get it. Men don't work that way. Men will be very direct with you and tell you exactly what they need and why and for how long. And there's really nothing more to it than that. So you don't need to breathe anything else into it. Just accept it for what it is. Give him the space he needs. Let him figure it out. Let him come back to you when he's ready. Leave him alone. Find something else to do to fill your time with. Don't be so available when he comes back. Make him wait a little bit. That's okay. And then when he does come back, have a chat with him. Hear him out. Whatever it was that was bothering him that he needed some space for. Maybe he doesn't even talk about it. And if he doesn't, then you don't need to bring it up. Just go on about your business. Hope that helps. Thanks for tuning in, everybody, to this Q&A. Is my boyfriend too weak to break up with me? That's it. That ends. Take care.